But I mean, all we can do is wait, see what happens.
Indeed, and here we go.
Right, and we are out the gate running quick into a fountain. I would say something, but I did that probably like twice today. Level 1 white skulls. Yep, go ahead.
Oh, we got nothing great in black. There's Saber Fire. No sweepers in black magic. We do have Heal 3, Cure 2, and Invis 2 in white, though, which great utility. But you don't want to stack that red mage too heavily with the white magic early.
Looking at the weapons, it didn't look like there was too much weapons. There are too many good weapons. There was a lot of weapons, but not too much of them. But it looks like LordoftheSynth is on his way now. I don't know if he is just delayed or was doing something. He is also checking his spells, hoping for something good for this initial Topher dive.
Yeah, it looks like Rojo's got... Oh, we're just getting everything synced up.
Yep.
Much appreciated to our restreamer today.
I believe it is Sin_Pyro, right?
Sin Pyro, I believe, is handling our tracking.
Sin
Frog, I believe, is doing restreaming.
That's right, I apologize there.
We appreciate both of you. Your services are much appreciated.
That is very, very true. All right, house prices don't seem too bad at about $1,200 a piece.
As long as it's below $2,000, we are usually happy with that.
Oh yeah, getting our first look into Topher right now. Doing a little bit of work with that Zeus gauntlet. All right, let's see what's in this first chest here.
Pennies, quite literally pennies.
More pennies and a lot more pennies. All right, cool.
Almost a very, very frugal seed. Rojo dipping out to get that save just to be sure. I have seen Astos roll Cremate earlier this weekend, I believe, so you never know until you fight them.
That's true, entirely. Right, Lord is on their way to pick up their little bit of pocket change before they head in to defeat Garland. Rojo is talking to the princess now. Let's see what we... Nope, talking to the bats. Let's see what we get from the king. We get TNT. What do we get? Okay. We have a direction.
That gives us access to the open sea if we get that boat. So boat or floater, either way, gets us open to the world.
True. It looks like Rojo is picking up a couple new weapons. Probably going to pick up some healing items.
Those Silver Plus 3s are definitely good starter weapons.
Uh-huh.
LordoftheSynth picked up 50 10s. He is looking to heavily manipulate that overworld, trying to avoid as many unnecessary encounters as possible. As Rojo picks up the bridge boss.
Looks like he is going up to check Latoya's, if I'm not mistaken. Check the closet out, see about a little bit extra pocket money.
Not always a bad move if you come out of Canaria with a small purse, but they don't have a too insignificant amount of gold, so I assume we'll probably reset out of that. Yep.
Figured he would once he got that gold bracelet. Looks like Lord is picking up a bunch of copper bracelets. Not a bad play. Gets a little bit of absorb of his people.
I feel sorry for some Pyro and Chatty Scum. I mean, he had a turn 1 nuke out of Garland in a seed earlier. That must have been painful. And
And
Rojo is popping Bicky.
it looks like we have some deviation here too.
Out
Lord
of the
going over
gate.
towards the dwarf. Yeah, all right. It'll be interesting to see if they realign at any point. This just
Vanilla
goes.
ship.
Yes, a vanilla ship. Are we even playing Randomizer anymore? All right, let's see if there's anything good in the armory. Nope. Lord, on the other hand, stops and talks to the hooray dwarf.
Talks. Only talks.
Well, you gotta know how he's doing.
Well,
We could-
life, slot 3, tier 2. That is learnable by the red mage. Pre-promotion. That is quite good to see.
Yeah. Looks like Lord picked up the crystal out of the TNT duel. So probably might be circling back around, heading towards Provoke at this point.
And can stop a Matoya on the way, so that saves that run back.
It's true.
Not
Rojo,
necessarily too hurt from this route divergence that way.
getting his boat and playing with some of the local fishies. I can't talk either today.
As Rojo moves over to get his crystal and some, relatively speaking, substantial money out of that free chest.
I'm curious how Lord's played there. Left the boat back a little ways and walked up to Matoya's.
The thing about those docks is the docks are all free spaces, so it actually is better for your encounters often to dock at the first possible place on the dock and then walk along the dock. That is a loot out of Matoya. That is a necessary stop.
Well, at this point, we know we have 3 places left to go. Or actually, no, we don't have 3 places. We have the canal already, don't we?
Yep, that means Ice Cave is something they may choose to do sooner than later. I doubt it. They'll probably either hit the open sea early or go marsh at this point.
Rojo looks like he is heading over towards Crescent right now. Or no, Toya right now, sorry. Oh. I keep forgetting he just picked up the crystal. He'll be getting his loot here in just a moment.
And Lord
It will be
be
interesting.
getting his ship from Biggie.
See, on one hand, I kind of think the next play would be Crescent, but I don't know. I mean, you have everything open.
The thing about it is they've got enough cash at this point. You definitely want to stop at Elfland before you start hitting the Intersea because the magic they have right now is not that spectacular.
Oh, that is true entirely. So, but the problem is if magic continues to be like this, they may not have that good of time. Alright, Demon Frog, we knew exactly what you meant. But yes, it wouldn't be a bad idea to do what searching you can in the inner sea, so that way you don't have to come back to it until you get the floater, at least. Be easier to transverse, and Rojo is making their way over to magic. What do we got?
Nothing great in that level 3 black magic.
I'm confused for emergency strats. I don't hate it.
Now that is Cure 4, and it's already red mage learnable, so that's something definitely going to pick up. With the flag set we are running, that can bring people up from being stunned as well as curing them or healing them. That has saved a number of runs.
Black
And
magic
there's
level
good
4.
black magic.
Yep, now we're finally starting to get some AoE issues here. Fast and lit 3.
If they find a white mage and choose to pick it up, they also get that harm 3, which can be used to hit everything. It is only for the undead when cast by anything else, but the white mage has the ability to damage anything with that as in just general AoE.
Is correct, and those spells are white learnable, so or night learnable.
We got some +5 chain. That is a really good starting armor, underrated. when it rolls up that high.
It looks like Lord is also picking up their magic at level 3 and 4.
I said they had a lot of money, but they are leaving, so at least Rojo's leaving with sub 1,000 gold.
Well, when fast costs you almost 3,000 gold, yeah, I can believe it.
And it looks like Rojo took the quick boat to the water dock and is going down towards Marsh.
We really haven't seen anything too spicy yet on the field, encounters-wise. Will be interesting to see what we see in Marsh today.
Marsh may well just be Marsh, so...
It's a calm, peaceful walk through the marshlands. Something we all wish for.
Ooh, scorpions, stay away. I've seen
Lord
scorpions roll too many bad scripts recently.
Oh, yeah. Lord finding the chainmail +5 and equipping it themselves. So far, I haven't seen anything really too amazing coming out of Marsh.
Nope, but it does look like LordoftheSynth is taking the walk all the way there, so they are keeping lockstep in route at least at this point.
A little bit of divergence, but it seems like they are resyncing up quite well, and we get steak. Okay, we now have the ruby.
It's a carnivorous titan on Rojo's side, it seems.
Well, it's a good thing I didn't say human flesh, because that would be awkward.
Now, what I am seeing out of the marsh is a good amount of gold. They are back up to over 10,000 gold coming out of this.
That is always a good thing. In case you weren't able to buy all the spells you need to, do it now. But, you know, now I gotta find out if there's a flag that makes Titan fight you.
If it doesn't exist, I mean, there is the loose Astos flag where Astos' encounters shuffled among other incentives, so it's possible that the Titan could be Astos if that flag is on.
Yeah, true. But, like, I don't know. Find the one Titan who's just like, I'm tired of humans, I'm gonna eat you, I don't need a ruby. It'd be awesome.
But with that ruby acquisition, Rojo now has a really solid route. He's just going to pop out to Melman and then hit up the Titan's Trove and Sarda and get those two incentives out of the way without having to go that much further.
It will be interesting because more than likely he's going to boat over there. But he's going away from Crescent, which is also a fairly easy check. And yeah, it's only one item, but we have yet to find the incentive item in the store either.
That could be as far as the mountains in Gaia, so if they need that item and it is all the way in Gaia, that would mean the floater has to be found at some point.
Well, I mean, even in Crescent, if the item is there. I mean, that would probably get to me if I did all of the Inner Sea and then ran out and then was like, wait, did I go to Crescent?
Personally, I would probably go get the Sarda and Titans taken care of, then head straight to Crescent. From there, floater pickup to the airship if it's got it, and see what else. There are so many options on the table for these racers right now.
I mean, we still have more deals. We have Tiamat, or not Tiamat.
Well, that says they're going to go straight to promote, I'd assume. Get that red mage into red wizard so it can learn all the spells as soon as possible. Because that is the tail out of Titan's Tunnel. Now we have the Cardia docks on, so they can get to Bahamut and his Trove without having the airship. And Sarda was holding. Just
Did
what
not
this
see what-
mystic herb is, we'll have to find out.
The herb. Okay. So I looked away for a moment.
Fair enough, but that gives another option, because we could either head straight to Bahamut, we could send back to Elfland. There are just so many options, as Lord of the Synth is making his way out of Marsh, and probably going to go straight ahead and follow Rojo to Titans and Sarda.
Wouldn't it be a bad play to circle around underneath, get to Elfland from the bottom, check Crescent, and then you're right there to go straight down to get back over to Bahamut and Waterfall and Ordeals.
Sure looks like that is Rojo's route, more or less. Either he's going to go straight down from here to Bahamut, or he might just go all the way right and loop up to Crescent and then head to Bahamut. Either way.
Yeah. I mean, this way you keep in pathing, you definitely have stuff that you can do. It works out.
Synthpyro, you should know there is a great task of white mages. Oop, that's the key. That is go mode from item-wise. All we're looking for at this point is 2 additional items, or 3 in the case of the chime and the cube, to get them into the dungeons.
We get a white shirt out of the Upland Armory. Not a bad find.
The Elf Kingdom is providing some nice gear.
It looks like that fighter is just going to go ahead and wear that white shirt for a little while. And it looks like we are heading over to Crescent. Okay. So they got there eventually.
Yep, and remembering that that lower water dock is actually a shorter trip than the normal dock, if you can take it to get into the city.
And it looks like we found Nuke over on Lord's side with Temper at level 5. Ooh.
I hate to be in level 5 just for how hard it is to get to in menuing, and Fade and Cure 3 on Light Magic.
Right, well, it looks
spells
like
in a bad place.
Yeah, it looks like the end item is not in Crescent. Good to know.
Iron plus 5, it is a solid upgrade from the chain for not much more money, but he probably isn't going to bother with that. Then Harm 4 and Heal 2 in white, and Warp and Ice 3 in black in level 6. So a lot of good spells, or rather acceptable spells, in higher levels.
You get the crown from the old man. Alright, cool. Sages. But, I mean, it does seem a little bit like a walking back and forth there, but...
Yeah, you're getting the fetches taken care of early, you're getting all the stuff that's rotated around, or located around the inner sea taken care of early. It's not a bad time to do it, and of course all the fetches are more items that you collect. Each incentive item you have increases your experience and gold gain from fights. I believe it's either 5 or 10% with each item, which is a substantial increase in grind efficiency. And in the case of Rojo, since he has the crown and the key, he can also check the spike tiles and items in Northwest Castle after dealing with Astos.
That's correct. And as being close enough, could make the trip over to Cardia Castle and also check the armory there for another item. Lord, on the other hand, is picking up their herb now. And did you happen to see what Astos had, or are we going to see now?
We are going to see now, because I did... Yep, Vorpal -2. No wonder I didn't see it. My eyes were just blocking it out of my vision.
Yeah. But maybe there's something good in the closet.
Well, cobras are not it.
That is correct. Neither are the mummies, really.
Who cremate mummies? Definitely not. That also takes the Whiz mummy pack off the table, in my opinion, because you often see 4, 5, or even 6 mummies out of that, even if it's good experience for a early grind. That's just painful.
Yeah, it's definitely something you don't want to be dealing with. Looks like we're going to the dwarfs.
It's a quick run north to get there, and there's a good number of chests to get from
Yep.
there.
That is true. I usually don't like the idea of double dipping too often, but if you're looking for items and whatnot, you can find them here.
With so many checks and incentives going, we just passed 20 minutes. Rojo is blitzing this.
Looks like a bunch more money, a couple pures. Quick reset out, knowing that there's nothing in there worth going back for unless you need it.
Nope, and it looks like he might be going to that northern dock to quick check Toflocked, if not going to Canaria first. Because it is a shorter run from that northern dock because we have the extended progression, which makes a gap there so you can run across. That's what allows you to get to and from Elfland without the boat with this randomizer.
It looks like, gargoyles on the lower right chest in Topher.
And a vanilla opal bonk there, which not horrible armor, but does require that tail to be turned in before they can use it.
Alright, but we do get a ribbon +1 and okay.
That is a
that.
excellent pull from Toflocked. Early dip really paying off for Rojo.
We get our first look from Titan Horde. We see a light axe, some pocket money, pro cape, a heal, cube, not a bad item. Heal stick, money, short sword, money.
It is crazy to think that after everything we've seen now, Ro, is the first time we've seen an item to get into one of the dungeons, and it's only one half of the two needed.
But it will be interesting to see what we have in the castle.
Indeedly do.
Being said, we have waterfalls, ordeals, the castle, and ice left.
I can only imagine Lord is going to ordeals from here, because he doesn't have anything else to steer him elsewhere, unless he wants to turn in that herb.
Alright, we're seeing what's in the castle. Money and heals. Money. Pure. Rod. Okay, so we have the rod now.
We have the crowbar of entry.
That is very, very true. Okay. So we have a ribbon left. No, we have a lot left. But
everyone get your pillar guess in the chat. We've already got one miss. Let's see if it's 1, 2, 3, or 4. It is definitely not 1.
Number 2. It's always number 2. My pillar always gives when needed. That poison touch does not look very good. Oh, nope. Number 2 is wrong.
This ordeal is definitely an ordeal.
That is true, and it looks like number 3 was the correct choice. Number 3.
And there are 2 more splits left, so we have more to go for sure. Rojo picking up the level 5 magic, and probably just going to go ahead and promote at this point. Oh, LordoftheSynth going to pillar 4.
So what's the 4th pillar? Okay.
And that split there was a friendly loopback. Oop, more poison.
Oh, that looks like it's a very, very rough deal.
And LordoftheSynth picks the correct pillar on that last room and is out of the maze. As Rojo gets the tail turn in and promotes.
Let's see if we have anything good out of ordeals.
LordoftheSynth definitely glad to run away from that pack. He does not know that those mummies have cremate.
Uh-huh. So far, nothing good out of the chest. But we have the chime, okay?
That is
Time
Sky
to-
Axis, Lord of the Synth, and the Agama tile, although I doubt he's going to be grinding it just yet.
I think they're gonna probably save that for just a little bit later. Once they have a real weapon and, you know, a couple other things.
Well, for lack of a real weapon at the moment, Rojo did just put that Vorpal -2 to use until something, well, good comes along.
That is very, very true. Alright, so we now know that the floater has to be either in waterfall or in ice.
We could get the turn-in out of the adamant, but that is the only other incentive that we have access to. Now, we do not need the floater because we have access to the rod. We will get the chime here. The only thing that the floater might be able to lock from us that we know now is the Oxyale.
And if we find the optional,
stoned.
yeah,
Those Arsahags. With cremate?
there just doesn't seem to be
runners.
any luck for either.
That, using those tents to try and evade some of these overworld encounters, definitely more valuable now. Rojo checking that top trap tile that Lord of the Synth faded, and it is a red dragon. Much easier to get to than that Agama ends up being, but still not the best place for a grind.
But it is a good experience.
If it's thin enough to make it worth it.
That is true.
And
All the misses, on the other hand.
does
Sorry, go
not
ahead.
help. Lord of the Synth getting his herb turn in, he will be making his way to that keychain. Oh, there it is.
And Rojo, the gargoyles. Let's see if they take number 2 and get reset all the way back to the beginning, and they do. Will they remember the path back, or will they take portal number 3? They will take portal number 3 and get sent back again.
1 sent it back 1 pillar, 2 sent them back to the start, and 3 sent them back 2 pillars, and 4, the correct option. You have to remember the last room is a split, and if he goes down, that could take him back however many, because Lord of the Sith made it right the first time, which got him out of the maze.
The fun part is always guessing the wrong split at the very end and going back to the beginning and then growling.
I think
Like, I hate it, but I also love it. Yes.
Early life getting used.
Or it looks like they were picking up some items and spells in Elfland before heading over to Crescent?
Yep.
So we're gonna find New Crescent again.
Yeah, get that rod from the old man. That'll give him access to his 2 necessary locked dungeons, because they have volcano free, which is why, for those that do not know, this tournament, the flags for brackets is 3 orbs needed only, any orbs they choose. And Rojo finding that Agama after that trial of incineration, cremation to get there.
You got sent Pyro's notes in the crown turned into her sword in the game. I agree, but at least it's not a Vorpal -3.
And while Rojo is taking this grind a little, Lord of the Synth is picking up that level 6 magic, getting that warp and potentially ice 3 out of it. Since his red mage is now a sage, there is no limit as to what magic he can hold. It just has those 3 spells on any level to use.
So, where do you head to next? Do you go for ice or do you go for waterfall?
If I were
Lord is right there.
Rojo, he's got the chime. He could go wherever he wants. He is in go mode. So this grind right now actually makes a lot of sense. If you can make it work, drop his unnecessary characters and bring that ninja and or that fighter up to a good enough level. He could literally just race the rest of the seed. It'd be nice to have things like the power bonk, roost stick, defense sword, but not necessarily needed.
I don't know if we have the dock in there in order to get to the desert.
Yes, we do.
Oh, we do? Okay.
It is totally
Well,
possible to beat this entire thing floaterless with the current set. With the only thing the floater blocks us from being able to access is Gaia and Lefane, as well as the islands that aren't Cardia's main island, but we have the treasure trove enabled, which is a feature to help incentivize floaterless seeds, because it brings all of the treasure chests from all of the Cardia islands into Bahamut's hoard. And Lord of the Synth getting the Vorpal -2 news out of Astos. And with this check by Rojo, we now know that that item in the shops is going to be either in the vanilla location, which is the caravan in the desert, or it's going to be in Gaia, which would make it floater locked.
I am surprised Rojo didn't go over there and check, but so understand that, you know, it's still on the table as a place to check. With a quick set of birds while Lord is dealing with Astos right now.
I'd say the worst thing Rojo can pull out of here is the slab, because it's slab and or ball, because they are useless until he finds that floater, and he really doesn't need the floater. Ooh, those the cremate mummies. Hopefully all those go down before they even have a chance.
I think
And they do.
Their strategy was if we burn it quick enough, they can't kill us.
Synpyro, that is the solid strat if you can just quick save and just reset out of the caravan if there's nothing there. I do agree with that strat. Just like with taking the Matoya's quick check at the start, you just save, get to Matoya's closet, and just reset out if you don't see anything you want to keep.
We find some frost dragons on the trap tile there.
And they went down relatively easy. Oop, that is a +5 Aegis shield. That is excellent. And the Oxia, we have every dungeon available. If Rojo has the levels and want, he can just take the sea dive right here and now.
Alright, well that means that whatever is in ice leads to the floater right now. That is the only check they have left.
Indeedly do.
Lord picking up the items over in the Dwarven Armory.
What little there is.
Yep.
Looks like LordoftheSynth has a downed party member. I have to wonder, is he going to keep it down and go for the 3-man from here on out? Try and get that those levels spread out across a shorter party member base. Fewer party members up means more XP for the remaining members.
Wouldn't be a bad plan, and would help you get a grind in. Take ordeals? Or not ordeals, Sea Shrine? Really faded. And looks like maybe
Stocking up on potions, or just looking for the item if he missed it before. getting those soft potions, always necessary to have a few soft potions. And then also checking Rod for Lord of the Synth, while Rojo's checking these level 7 spells.
Simply. But I do believe he... So there is a strategy for killing Kraken fairly quickly.
Indeed, and there is a good reason to come down here because along the route to Kraken, specifically in the Sharknado floor, right before you get to Kraken's floor, there is a good number of incentivized better trap treasures that you can pick up. So it's not a bad, just some pretty painful encounters if you don't have the gear for it. Not a bad route to take getting this dungeon in.
But the flip side of that, just about everything in Sea Shrine is good experience. Just about. I mean, there's still a few things you might want to avoid and not do, but that's half of a seafood platter right there, and I'd be surprised if it was worth less than 3,000.
And there he is, 18 across the party. Every level he can get before he hits Kraken will be more defense against Kraken, because Kraken, even Kraken 1, is still Kraken.
That is true, and Kraken does what Kraken does. Looks like melee is still a tad bit weak, but I mean, we've got a Vorpal, so I expect that.
Now, I'm confused. Did Lord of the Synth not already beat Astos?
This was the last time I looked over, they fought Astos and won, but possible forgot to save and did a reset. Really wants that Vorpal? Sure.
Well, Rojo hasn't found anything much better than the Vorpal yet. Definitely currently I'd say has the advantage as far as exploration. And Rojo is definitely going to check some of these trap chests.
That young me in the chat going, oh, I just got here, can they restart? As bad as the magic has been in the beginning of this, trust me, you really haven't missed too much. Ooh, Ro down to only 2 members left alive.
That red mage being down is big, because that red mage is all the white cast, all the life casting that you've got.
It's true.
We have promo Sage on that red mage, or red wizard. The parties this time around, for anyone who wasn't here at the start, we had a thief and a black mage, and then they agreed pre-seed roll to blind draft an additional fighter and caster with a red mage and a... Actually, sorry, we had a fighter and a black mage, and they picked the thief and the red mage as additional. So these were 4 forced, essentially. Life is available at slot 3, level 2. I don't know if the knight has it, though.
I don't believe the knight picked it up yet, due to promotion and everything else with Bro.
Ooh, thunder.
Lord, on the other hand, I think promoted and then came back and bought spells.
Neither of them have the floater, so they can't get to Lefane just yet and stock up at the superstore. So far, this is a floaterless seed option because both of them have full access to 3 or more dungeons. And both of them have the key and loot. And yes, Cure 4 is slot 3 on level 3 white. I believe that is learnable by the knight, but I always get them confused because I remember it is 1 and 3 and 2 and 4, one way or the other.
Looks like Lord is taking a bit of a pop to maybe find a couple good encounters. I'm unsure.
I mean, if you can find the EXPs, that's usually the best grind you can get here outside of Crescent. From here, he's probably just going to go ahead and take Volcano. I honestly don't know why he's trying to grind here instead of just going to Volcano and trying to check some of the trap tiles on there along the way. But while he's doing that, Rojo is right outside Kraken's door. Shifting around that ribbon.
Let's see how this Kraken fight goes with one black mage and one critter. Comes out.
White shirt and Brack strats. Oh, at first cast Brack. That's doing Kraken dirty, and I approve.
That was a beautiful crack. Sometimes you gotta get that in there when you can. Double checking the item store and picking up heals. I have noticed lately that in some of these seeds, heal pots have been getting more and more expensive.
I think they've averaged 30 or 40 for me when I've been running these seeds, and I don't think it's been much better for the racers.
Yeah, no, my race earlier today, they were like 55. It's like, it cost me 3,000 gold to pick up 60 of them.
And that is confirmed. The item has to be in Gaia. We have now checked every single other vendor. So the item is floater locked, and that floater has to be out of ice.
Let's see, we have loader.
The slab or bottle has to be in Gaia with the floater in Ice Cave.
Right, but we have one check right now, which is ice. Ice opens up Gaia.
Ice opens up Gaia and Lefane, so if you get the bottle or the slab in Gaia, that'll turn into whichever it doesn't. It also get turned into the adamant, and the terminus of that between the slab, the adamant, and the bottle is going to be
I think the ribbon. We haven't gotten the ribbon.
They have ribbons, they've just picked them up.
Right, I just haven't. That's what I was trying to figure out, is what item was left in the pool.
Vanilla floater indeed. It's a good point in chat.
Keystone, you did in fact call the vanilla floater.
You know, they'll probably find the vanilla eye if they go there just for double down.
Mm-hmm.
And Rojo is going picking up armor and gear out of... Oh, that Sunsword +3 is a proper endgame option. Compared to that Vorpal, it is substantially better.
Finally have a real weapon, guys. There's a chance we can win.
That Mirage 1 is paying out. Good armor and a good sword.
Will be interesting to see if he does the less than or greater than.
Definitely bouncing out to save.
Don't blame him.
You know, LordoftheSynth is bouncing out of his short little grind effort. Is he lacking houses? Because he keeps bouncing back to Melman.
I think they're on their way to knock out Earth right now. That's the only thing I can think of.
Because he was doing a bit of grinding in the tunnel, or the Titan's tunnel, and then he bounced all the way back out to Melman. So I'd assume he's either strapped for items and doesn't want to run and get save items, or he is just, oh, ghouls with zap. That's fun.
Yeah.
Won't be seeing many more of those when he dives Earth, will he?
Well, running a 3-man party, maybe trying to get the experience a little bit more. Only done with the thief. Ninja at this point, I guess. Oh, on the other hand, playing with Medusas and giant cats, so...
Well, Lord did have some save items, but it looks like cabins and tents did not have the houses, so he had to run back to Melman to get his spell casts back.
But But with houses and prices there now, it's always worth stocking up. Usually find myself trying to buy at least 60 of them throughout the entire seed.
If you end up, if you end the race with a subdivision, that's usually not a bad thing. That just means you're prepared. An investment for later.
You want to put houses down everywhere. That way you never have to worry.
We got a 3-pack of loose slime in the sky for Rojo as LordoftheSynth is diving Earth and checking those top right Earth 2 chests.
Figured it out. The next major flag we gotta get. Houses stay. But you can't go back in them.
I personally like the flag that turns tents into ethers. Yep, that's an Ice Shield 2 out of CC's Gambit, a substantial armor upgrade, paying off. For those who do not know, CC's Gambit is the nickname we have given in the community those top 4 chests. Ooh, and a defense sword. Both racers finding very good items, and I would say that defense sword's even more valuable than the good shield.
It'll be interesting to see if Lord opens my favorite chest. It is a better drop chest, but most people have been known to avoid it.
Nothing great for Rojo out of that free 4-pack. For everyone in the chat, get your robot chickens ready. We are about to see the Bridge of Destiny.
My favorite chest by Frost Animals. People bad.
Yeah, LordoftheSynth looking to take this fight. Only has a few nukes, but really doesn't expect Lich is gonna require any nukes.
Lich. Just blow on him and he falls. Right, in the chest, it's a light axe. -2. So nothing good this time.
We don't have a White Caster native, so the Light Axe does not do AoE damage. But it's good against these mummies and other undead packs. So the Nacho goes down for Rojo on the Bridge of Destiny. And to answer Kumo's question, perhaps, in chat, yes, Robot Chicken dances over the corpses of its enemies.
Lots of encounters on Rojo's side.
A quick chest for nothing really out of that Vampire Footlocker. As Rojo makes it past the Bridge of Destiny, and LordoftheSynth moves up to take the armory in Earth.
Yeah, fight looks like it's going to be an interesting. We got a temper cast going out on the fighter, a fast charge going out on the fighter. We're just gonna hit. If it's 231, not too bad.
And Brack. Come on, you gotta do it. And there it is.
Brack has not failed yet today.
That is a first cast Brack on Tia and on Kraken.
And we have Stake in the Desert right off the bat.
I don't believe that was. He did not save coming out of there, so that unfortunately was not an encounter that he could potentially grind Overworld. We haven't seen many Overworld grinds this tournament. I've seen maybe 2 or 3 that I can think of. At least outside of pods.
2 or 3. So. Well, the ones taken have been fairly well. Stake and Wings has been a very popular one.
And Rojo heading towards Volcano, which at this point is the fastest dungeon that he can run through. Earth can be quick, relatively speaking, but with the substantial quantity of lava tiles, which are encounter-proof, you cannot get an encounter while you're on a lava tile. You can usually run straight down 2 or 3 floors down to the Agma floor if you've got a good enough hero run.
It's like Rojo is picking up level 6 spells just to make sure they have them.
While he's doing that, LordoftheSynth is on his way to deal with a speed bump of some form. with a fighter, it looks like, behind if he wants to get rid of that ninja for some odd reason.
You never know.
At this point, the ninja is just acting as the figurehead of the party boat. Oh, and Rojo is not going to Volcano, it seems. This looks like it might just be the Earth play instead, or he's just going through and getting more magic on his way through. Yeah, it looks like magic casts.
Yeah. Now that everybody's promoted and whatnot, you can see picking up magic, especially if you can get your hands on a life spell of some sort. Thought there was one at level 3?
Life is level 2, so that doesn't provoke
Level 2, level 2. Okay.
And we have our first orb lit. Lich is down for the synth. Now he has everything but Sea Shrine to go for, so he can go air and her sky and volcano. That's his next options. Because I do not see him diving ice at this point. Both runners are well aware they do not need to go ice. That is the floater, at least I should say Rojo is aware of that, because without that dive into waterfall to eliminate it as a possibility, Lord of the Synth could choose to go waterfall or ice to get the Oxyale or the floater.
Right, let's see. Making their way over to Volcano? Yeah, looks like them. Nope, making their way over to Volcano. Pick up spells.
Definitely looking for that life spell for the fighter.
Yep.
If you're going to keep him
Life
up as the
Extras and
meat shield,
Lord looks like they're heading north.
and Rojo is going fire through the inner sea river dock.
Interesting choice. It's not a bad one.
Oh, it's always funny to see those sudden statues on a boat. Those Red Sea hags with their stone.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. You'd expect to see a lot more boats driving around that sea with a bunch of stone statues on it.
Well, here's an interesting one. Lord of the Synth is going up to check the caravan. He has not done Waterfall, he has not touched the Anorak continent at this point, so he does not know that the Oxyale is in the Waterfall, nor does he know that the shop item is by process of elimination in Gaia, thus floater locked.
I mean, think about it this way. Neither runner knows where the floater was. So at this point, you're wondering, did my opponent already find the floater? Am I that far behind?
Now, this is an
Right.
interesting move. Rojo just picked up a Ice +5 and swapped it out for the Rune 3 on his Knight. I believe it was a Rune 3. Solid upgrade, especially going against Kraken. Or Carry, I should say.
It's true. There's got to be like some panic
Ooh,
in
Sun 3. Okay, the Sun 3 I don't think is worse than an Ice 5. Oop, there's the power bonk. That is a very good find and not something you normally check. The bad hairpin.
there. And still can't pick it up. There we go.
I would say at this point that substantially puts the equipment advantage in Rojo's favor.
Although Lord does in fact have the defense sword. That is at least something on a pro side for Lord.
Very true, and with that ninja staying sleepy on his side, he doesn't have the natural dodge tank. At least won't have levels on the natural dodge tank. Demon Frog, I do agree. And yes, the Sun Sword was actually put onto the red mage, so it is not being disused. But I would not be shocked if, unless the Excalibur is found, that sword gets swapped back over to the knight.
Alright, Rojo, looking to neglect the Red Dragon tile checks and the chest.
I don't blame him at this point, other than the Roostick and the defense sword I've said before. I believe he has the white shirt, so...
It's true.
Full go mode. Levels are probably the only thing holding him back from a more secure Toph dive, but even then, most of his party is close to or at the nuke save level, meaning close to 400 or above health.
Lord finding their seal there. Now knowing for a fact that Ice has the floater.
And I would have no doubt that Lord of the Synth is going to do exactly what Rojo did at this point and go straight for C. Or take a quick grind on these Iceties or Frosties.
It's not a bad grind. It's good experience, and they rolled fairly lows.
Given his levels, that experience is definitely worth having, and he warps out with what he got. As Rojo is making the move to Topher.
Don't blame him, he's got 95 health pots. Just about everything they need.
I do believe Rojo was the one who took a chance to look at some of the bats as well, and if not, well, maybe you will.
I think he did at the beginning, yes.
Yeah, those bats can tell you a lot.
Right,
that is our first dive. 56-55, I believe?
Yep. It's like we have a pack of bad men there, but we are making our way to the validation chests. We'll be interested to see if Rojo checks them and just walks right past them.
Really isn't looking for anything at this point. This is just speed and power. Coming up on an hour, has to assume that his opponent has had as reasonable a run as him. And also, you have to remember, now that he knows that Ice Cave had the floater, he could also be thinking, what if my opponent went ice and had the floater before ever getting out of the inner sea?
Oh no, I agree. There's panic involved here because you don't know. I mean, some people do the ice play early. And nothing in the early items said not to do ice, so... Well, Rojo coming up on Lich now for the first fight of Topher. We have a swing of a sword for 109, a swing of a sword for 210, fire, I didn't see the full amount, looked like 20, and another swing of the sword for 66 damage.
This damage output from Rojo's party is not looking spectacular.
No, but he's also not trying to buff either.
Saving those charges. And using base fire magic, not even using anything AoE.
Well, I mean, at this point, I mean, you kind of want to do the resource management, and it's Lich.
True,
beating him down with barely any work.
Even Vanilla Lich opens up with nukes, so you never truly know.
That is true. Ours had cure.
Now, that said, I do want to point out that the Red Mage still has that Sun +3, and that is a substantially better sword against the Fiends, with the exception maybe of Carry, than that Ice 5. So, interesting choice to keep it where it is.
So we get our first look at actual buffing up the white. As we lay down some things on our fighter. We got a power bump coming out, a fast charge going out, a temper going out, I think a second temper going out. At this point, a white shirt, an attack, temper. Okay, so we got a white shirt cast going out. Good for a swing, 8 hits for 1,000, and carry is dead.
Bye bye, Snake Lady.
Sometimes it is that easy.
Rojo is on the water floor as LordoftheSynth is on the Sharknado floor in sea itself. Dazzling lobsters. Oh, fun.
I think Rojo will probably be very happy that they did not run into those lobsters.
Or at least got rid of them when they did.
Exactly. Your sharks and Shag picks over on that Rojo's side as he runs past to go see Kraken. Let's see how Kraken is doing today.
Kraken is confused. There's no natural white casters.
That's true. So who will Kraken target today? Everybody with fire. We will see the first hit. Ooh. Almost 500 damage from the swing from Kraken.
And
Nice
Thunder
swings.
Wraiths on LordoftheSynth side. That is painful. He is down to man mode.
It's like 200 damage from the first swing of the fighter. Pure Fork going off, another white shirt cast going off to buff invasion.
And
We swing 65. Go ahead.
And LordoftheSynth is bounced out. He got stuck behind a trap tile.
Whoa. Alright, looks like our red mage has come down, but we are still swinging for 134. Kraken goes down, and we are going to use one of our life charges to bring that red mage back.
No wish to go man mode at this party. It is a even leveled party. No one has been shot to the moon. It is an everyone does their part.
Oh. Is making their way into the tier 2 fight now.
Just
Contemplating
dealing
the
with some rabid fans of Twilight there before we get into the Dragon Lady.
Looks like another initial buffing of everybody.
Oof,
The red mage is dead.
That red mage, that red mage wants to be the Ablative Meat Shield.
Right? Usually it's a black mage that gets taken out, but the red mage is just... Oh. Did I read that right? Was that one hit for 1 damage? Look at this
Please get some
again.
crits.
2 hits, 45 damage. That is a very evasive Tia. Oh. When a blizzard comes out. Hopefully these locks are helping. Fighter swings and we have 2 hits, 60 damage, and a nuclear across the board. Black mage is down.
No more nukes for Rojo to cast.
It's true, and Fighter does a power bomb and gets smacked really hard by the Tia as we get 2 kill bot strats.
Potions and power to try and get that fighter back up. Oh wow,
Ooh.
there you go.
We get a crit and
1,200
1 hit.
damage.
That was
Arnov.
definitely a scary fight right there.
And there's the team coming back up, putting liberal use of those life spells up, making sure he has all the bodies, because he truly needed it against Tia, and most likely will against Kraken.
Looks like Red is making their way into the chaos fight. The Lord is on their way to fight Kraken. Let's see how this goes for each of them. We got a buffing of the party over on Rojo's side. It's being cast on a fighter. Lit 3 coming out of chaos and hitting everybody hard. 2 going out from the black mage.
Really want to get make sure Chaos cannot dodge using that first cast of that black mage that nearly went down on that lock spell.
Sometimes you need it. Ooh, a lit 2 coming out and taking out the black mage. Red mage is low on health, but gets a cast to cure 4 out. Or monk in a white shirt. Do you try swinging, or do you see where you're at? Do you keep buffing?
At this point, I think you have to start swinging.
We got 7 hits for 7 hits for 55 damage. Another cast of white shirt going off. We have good damage.
And that is a Kraken down for Lord of the Synth. He is at 2 orbs. It is totally possible that Rojo could wipe here, and Lord of the Synth could have a chance to catch back up. But Rojo is still getting good damage in and has 3 men up. 850 damage. There's probably 1 or 2 more hits with that knight to get Chaos out at this point. That was a cheeky quad X strat there.
And Chaos is down. Everybody get your GGs in the chat for Rojo.
Congratulations to Rojo, GG, and we have a forfeit from Lord of the Synth.
See if we can get them both inside here.
We actually already have a Lord of the Synth in chat with us, just sneakily sitting down, waiting for us to acknowledge him.